Hello everybody, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing great. And first of all, of course, we will be learning about WebRTC. But before that, let's simply have a quick look at the code that we have already written, and then after that, we'll be just simply continuing from here, right? So this is how the plan is right now, and let's see exactly how the things are gonna be going on. And having said that, I hope you can see the screen. Let me check whether I'm live or not, and after that, I'll just simply continue from here on. And one more thing, this is gonna be a 2-hour live actually. I just forgot to mention that. So just 1 hour challenge is written there. That's all right. I will actually extend it till 2 hours, and this is how things are gonna be going ahead. So if I'm going through anything, the minimum duration of learning that is gonna be 2 hours. After that, I can just simply switch to something else or the other. Alrighty, let's simply turn the chats off, and just like this, and let's continue. Of course, I'm audible if I'm not wrong. And apart from this particular thing, music that is actually being played in the background, but not sure what. Yeah, music. Yeah, it is actually being played in the background. Alrighty, so let's continue from here on, and this is the page that we are on. Let's keep it pretty simple in the sense, let's simply go through the things one by one. And first of all, this is gonna be the main server file that we have here. We aren't really doing much over here. First of all, we are just defining the things. We have room and we have connections. These are pretty important things. At the end of the day, we are just simply creating the server. Once the server is created, these are the routes that we have over here. One of them is get route for simply rendering the index.html file, and after that I have two post route. One is for creating the room, another one is for destroying the room. As simple as that. Then I'm actually creating a WSS server, WebSocket server, and I'm just simply giving it the server itself. Server itself in the sense, this is the server HTTP server that I created, and I gave app express app to this particular server. And at the end of the day, this server is running on 8080 port and localhost. Okay, and that is why this WebSocket server will be running on the same localhost and port. And then simple, I'm just simply listening to the connection, and once I have the connection, then I will be getting three things. So actually I will have three options. Like message, close, and error. These are pretty simple things. I'm even adding the user to the connection, so kind of as soon as the connection event got triggered, so I will get a connection, right? Ultimately there's a user on the front end side, and that user ultimately sent a WebSocket request, so the new connection got created, and I will be just simply saving the WebSocket connection that got created and the user ID, and again the user ID will be coming from the WebSocket itself. As for the user ID, it actually comes in the request, and if you actually want to get the user ID, then this is how you can just simply get new URL search params. Having said that, you can just simply make a quick Google search over here, how to get params in WebSocket request, just like this, and then how to get parameters from WebSocket client request. This is the one. And if you actually have a look over here, so I think the same things must have been mentioned. WSS on, just a sec, necessary only, require URL and parse HTTP URL. Well, the things that I'm actually looking for, they haven't been mentioned here. What kind of thing we are actually getting? We are kind of getting query parameters, right? Query parameters, yeah, here it is. So this is how you can just simply get the query parameters. So suppose a new URL parameters, and I'm just simply sending the request URL split, and then just a sec here. Hang on. So from the request, I will be getting the URL, and then I will be splitting that URL using question mark. So using question mark, the URL has actually been splitted. Then I'm gonna be getting the first index, and once I have the first index, then I can just simply get the query parameters, search parameters, right? And the same thing is actually happening over here. Fine. Alrighty, there are many ways to just simply get to know about these things, so not really a big problem. And after that, simply handling disconnection as well. Whenever the user just simply reloads the page, this particular disconnection happens, and whenever the user is disconnected, I simply remove the user from the connection URL connection array. And not only that, I even remove the room depending on the condition. Like if the PR1 exists, if the PR1 if the PR1 exists, then the user ID is gonna be null. So ultimately PR1 is gonna be null. If PR2 exists, that's also gonna be null. And if both of them do not exist, in that case I will be just simply even removing the room. So it's like if one user exists, that's okay. Make it if one user kind of reloaded the page, that user's peer 1 user ID, I mean user ID of that particular user is gonna be null, and if the user ID of both the users are null, in that case both the room will not exist, that will be removed, as simple as that. So this particular thing is done as well. Handle disconnection, handle message. Over here we are just simply handling the message. Having said that, there are gonna be different kinds of messages, especially we will be getting lots of types of messages, so we are just simply handling everything here. We will be going through this code, and then we have some of the functions: normal server function, join handler, then WebRTC server function. So these are the functions that are actually going to be used inside this handle message. So far it should be clear. And when it comes to message, exactly what kinds of messages I will be getting from the client side, so let's even have a look at that. So first of all, I will get the message, and then message will have a label, and the message will also have data. This message.data, data will have the type. So on the basis of the label we will be doing some kinds of things, so on the basis of the data type we will be doing some kinds of things. So message label, so of course simply we are just simply sending the message data on the basis of that particular label, and once that thing is done, then we are getting the data, and on the type of the data type as well, like exactly what we wanna try to do. For example, over here when it comes to type can be room check, type can be room destroy. This has already been done. So if you are checking the room, these are the types that are gonna be used. If you are destroying the room, these are the types that are gonna be used. If you are joining the room, at that time you will have a failure response, you will have a success response, and you will have two more kind of types as well. First one is gonna be request, when you are actually sending a join request to the server. Another one is the notify, where your server is actually notifying the other peer about your joining. Okay, so these are the two request type that are gonna be going ahead, and again these are gonna be the data type request and all, so don't worry about that. And lastly we have labels. Labels gonna be normal server process or WebRTC process, depends on exactly what kind of process you are using, but this is how we are gonna be going ahead. And over here we are just simply checking the data type, and if the data type is equal to request join, ultimately the user is trying to join the room, and that's again a request. At that time join handler this will run. I'm simply giving it the data, and it will just handle everything. When it comes to this, it is just simply getting the username and all, I mean room name and user ID, and it just simply adds it, right? So once it got that, first of all it is checking whether the room does exist or not. So let me remove this. It is just simply checking whether the room exists or not. If the room already exists, the user will be joining the room. Otherwise of course we will have to create a room. But again the user is trying to join the room, so if the room does not exist, user will not be able to join that, as simple as that. So first of all we are just simply checking whether the room exists or not. If the room does not exist, we are just simply returning a failure message. That's it, done. And apart from this particular thing, the second step, I'm simply checking whether the both the room is, I mean the kind of room I'm trying to join, that is already full or not. If that's already full, I should not be able to join because both the peers are already there. So this is the second step that's actually happening. And lastly I'm actually gonna be joining the room, and when I'm actually gonna be joining the room, at that time if I'm joining the room at that time, that means peer 1 is already there, right? So when peer 1 is already there, so I should be getting the other user ID as well. So that's what I'm simply getting checking here, that if existing room.peer1, if peer 1 does not exist, in that case I will be setting my ID as peer 1, and the another ID is gonna be the other user ID. Similarly, just opposite to this, if peer 2 does not exist, that means I will be peer 2, and the other user's ID is gonna be the other user ID, I mean other user ID, as simple as that. So overall these things are done, and let me even collapse this. And lastly, we once we have actually joined the room, we will be just simply sending a success message. Success message in the sense pretty simple. You will be sending the label, what kind of label it's gonna be. This is gonna be a normal server process. Again, once you got it, it was normal server process. Once you are sending from here, it is gonna be normal server process. And the next thing is that response success. Again, you were joining the room, and this is gonna be the success response, and you are just simply sending the creator ID, room name. Again, these two things are gonna be important. Creator ID, exactly who was the creator of this particular room, the room that you joined, and you will be sending the room name so that you can actually show on the client side. This is pretty much simple. Again, these are the required ones. As per the need, you can add anything else, depends on you. And lastly, you are just simply sending the WebSocket to the user. So send a WebSocket message to user. You will just simply give the user ID. You will give the success message. On the basis of the user ID, it will actually find your WebSocket connection. And once it found your WebSocket connection, it will simply send the message or data to that particular user related to that particular WebSocket connection. So once the data got actually sent, so this will be this data, this success message will be sent to the current user, the user that actually tried to join the room. And then you have to notify the other user as well. When notifying the other user, again normal server process is gonna be the type is gonna be join notify. So just above over here you had the type response success, because you just sent a success response. Over here you are gonna be sending a notifications response, right? And that is why you have notify over here. Again, these things are completely optional, but if you have them, that's gonna be great. By the way, you are just simply sending the join user ID to the creator of the room, that's it. And you are just simply sending the message to that particular user. Again, you are just simply providing the user ID and the message, and these messages first of all, based on this user ID, it will find the WebSocket and it will just simply send the data. As simple as that. So far, it should be clear by now. And once all these things are done, send WebRTC to message WebSocket message to the user. That's pretty much simple. Once it got the user ID over here, so based on the user ID, it will actually try to find the connection. Once it got the right user connection, it will just simply send the user data. If the connection does exist, in that case the data will be sent. If the connection does not exist, that means the data will not be sent. It's just as simple as that. And that's it, nothing else. So nothing special is actually happening so far. It's like from the client side you are sending different kinds of data, especially different labels are there. There are two types of labels mainly, because you are dealing with two things: HTTP processes and WebSocket processes, WebRTC processes. So normal server processes you have WebRTC processes and WebRTC server processes. And apart from this particular thing, you have types, like whether you are trying to join the room, you are trying to destroy the room, you are trying to create the room. On the basis of that thing, you will have the types. And if you are trying to join the room, whether that is a success response or failure response, or you are trying to request to join the room, or you are just notifying the other user that okay, you have joined the room. These are the things, right? So this is how the things are actually gonna be going at. So far so good, and ultimately things are quite understandable, as by their name only, so we don't really need to worry about anything else. And once these particular things are done, then we can just simply continue from here on. So handle connection, this particular thing is done. The thing is that yesterday I wrote quite a lot of code, and at the end of the day I didn't even get it kind of summarized at the end of the video, and that is why I'm just simply summarizing everything, keeping in mind that I'm not actually leaving anything. Okay, this thing is done. Constants, I have already gone through this. By the way, constants.js of the server side as well as client side, both of them are same, almost the same. There's only color extra, that's it. Okay, so this particular thing is done. Inside main.js, we have few things here. First of all, initializing the UI. That means all the UI related stuff will be happening on this particular part. And then we have a WebSocket connection. Again, if you actually want to have a look at that, I can just simply go through that. So what exactly we have? First of all, we have all the kind of, what are these called? Document DOM elements, I must say. So we have all the DOM elements over here, and once I have all the DOM elements, I'm even exporting some of them. Create button, input room, destroy room, and join room. These are the buttons and input elements that are actually being used outside this particular UI utils.js file, and that is why I have them here. Something's thinking. Okay, never mind, let's continue. And then we have initialize the UI. It will just simply initialize the UI, whatever you just want to have initially. And not only that, there are gonna be some models you will be just simply setting up. And while setting them up, you will be using like open model and close model. So whenever you click on them, this open model will be triggered, this close model will be triggered. So all the UI related stuff you have over here, no need to worry about anything else, at least so far. And just after that, main thing starts from here, the room logic. Room logic in the sense, if you are in the input box, if you press enter, then what will happen? Submit will happen. So ultimately the create button will be submitted, clicked automatically. Pretty simple. Okay, fine. Next is that creator to proceed room. Whenever you try to join a room, the creator should automatically be proceeded to the room, and that's the main logic is here. That this particular function will be called when you actually submit a request. That means inside this Ajax. So whenever you just submit a request to create the room, at that time you will be just simply using this particular function here, and this function will make sure that if it actually succeeds, if you successfully create the room, at that time you should be redirected to that particular room, and that's the job done by this. So it should be understandable right now. And kind of DOM related stuff, you are hiding some things, you are just revealing and hiding something simple. Exit room, again this is also one of them. what it does that whenever you exit the room, it just simply changes the UI. Okay, ultimately UI related part is happening over here. One more thing that you are doing here, that you are just simply resetting the state in the sense room name is gonna be null, as simple as that. Alrighty, and then you have a joiny to proceed room, the way you have a creator to proceed to room. Similarly you have joiny to, or you can say join user to proceed the room, joiner, okay, never mind, joiny to proceed the room. And again you are just simply changing the UI related stuff, as simple as that. And this, when will this be called? Whenever you are joining the room, if you successfully join the room, at that time you will be calling this particular function and the UI will be changed. Lastly you have update creators room. Update creators room in the sense, if the user actually successfully joins it, at that time you will be updating the creators room as well. And that's the same thing that you are doing here, that destroy class list hide, and it will mainly be used when user joins. So the thing is, if you created the room and the other user hasn't joined the room yet, so ultimately you will be getting the destroy button. Okay, you can just simply destroy your room. As soon as the user joins, then you will be getting the exit button over there. So destroy button will be hidden and this exit button will be visible over there. That's the main thing. And yeah, kind of message will also be changed. Okay, so this is pretty simple. When will this be called? Whenever the user successfully joins, another user successfully joins your room, this particular function will be called. And lastly you have log to console, the message will be logged to the console and all. You have to just simply give the message and some other stuff, color and all, and it will be done. Alrighty, so no need to really worry about it as well. Okay, so UI util section is done. We were mainly inside main.js, so ultimately we have initialized UI and we have some extra functions. Those functions are gonna be used depending on the need, sometimes inside Ajax, sometimes in WebSocket server, and depends. Lastly, we are just simply creating a client-side WebSocket connection. Once we have that, we are just simply passing that connection to the register WebSocket events, and all the WebSocket related work or the code will be written inside this particular file, inside WebSocket mainly. So if I actually have a look inside this, so what we are doing, first of all, we are setting the state. Again, once we got the WebSocket connection, we had better just simply set the state. State is kind of a global level variable, global level variable that actually stores the required data, and it will just simply give you the data as per the need. So if you actually have a look at this, so you have user ID, user WebSocket, room name, other user ID and all, and you can just simply access this data. Even you are creating some setters over here to set user ID, you can call these setters that you have created anytime, and these are gonna be just simply setting the data as per your need. Even you are resetting the data. So yeah, this is just the simple state related file where you just have only your states, simple, easy peasy. And inside this particular registered socket events, first of all you are just simply setting the WebSocket. After that you are logging again that okay, the room has been created, something like that, and you have connected with the WebSocket. You haven't created the room yet, but you have definitely connected to the WebSocket server, and then you will be handling some things like handle message, on close, on error, and then these are the functions that you have created and they will be doing their job. So on close will be handling closing related things and all. So whenever you just simply close it in the sense how can it be, when is this triggered? Whenever you reload the page, at that time WebSocket connection, getting confused, this thing is remaining here. On the client side, when does the connection gets closed? Okay, this is interesting. What message am I saying? You have been disconnected from our WebSocket server. So it could be like whenever you reload the page, okay, at that time okay, I gotta run it here. I'm not quite sure exactly how the things go on. So npm start. There are two things. There is a error, handle error on the server side. There is handle error on the client side. The main question is that when both of them get triggered. Alrighty, here we are, and let's keep it here. And that's gonna be localhost 8080. I hope you can see the screen right now. Here we are, and you have connected with our WebSocket server. That is fine. What happens if I actually stop the server? You have been disconnected from our WebSocket server, as simple as that. So this error, handle error section mainly triggers when something goes wrong on the WebSocket server side. So this particular handle error function that I actually have over here, handle close actually. So this gets triggered whenever my server stops or something goes wrong in the server side. And if something goes wrong on the client side, then the handle server that I have created inside app.js, handle close, I should have it here, handle disconnection. So if something goes wrong on the client side, then this particular disconnection will happen, as simple as that. So let me start the server again, npm start, and this time if I just simply reload the page, I will not be getting that. If I reload the page one more time, and if I actually have a look here, then this particular user was removed mainly because I reloaded the page. That means handle disconnection happened. Okay, the previous user got disconnected, and that is why you got this message over here. Pretty much fine. Okay, that's what I wanted to mainly check, exactly how the things actually they are connected to each other. Okay, so main.js is here. Remove this particular thing and register socket events. This particular thing is done. We have handle close. Again, these are the things happening on the client side. Handle error, if there's any error, again on the server side it will be handled. Join room, whenever you are the user is trying to join the room. So these are the things are gonna be happening here. Okay, on the WebSocket server side, WebSocket in the sense that is related to the client side. From here the user can actually join the room, the user can actually handle the message. Okay, the user can handle close, handle error, handle message is here, that's fine. And the user can have normal server processing, join handler and notify the other user. We will be talking about these things, not a big problem. So far we have been discussing the things on the server side. These are the code, these are the files or functions related to the front end side. We will be talking about them. But before that, I have Ajax. Inside my Ajax, I have create room, I have my destroy room, and that's it. These are the two things. What exactly am I doing while creating the room? I just simply send a fetch request, post request to the backend, and then I get my data. And if the request actually succeeds, at that time I just simply render some of the things, and that's it, nothing else. And what exactly am I rendering? So post request header JSON, I'm just simply sending the room name and user ID, and from there I am getting my response object. Even I'm just simply getting it in the JSON format, and once I got that, then I'm simply checking the type, like whether the type is the success type or failure type. On the basis of that thing, I will be just simply rendering the stuff. If the type is success, then I'm setting the state. Yeah, I should be setting the state when the room gets created, and then I'm logging the values to the console, and lastly I'm rendering the creator to proceed to room page, so that particular interface gets rendered, and that's it. If there is any error, so I'm just simply rendering the error as well, and if there's any error, I'm just simply rendering the error as well. So pretty much simple stuff, nothing else. And lastly I have destroy room. Destroy in the sense I will be sending the request to the backend again, and once the request goes there with the room name, that particular room will be deleted. If the it succeeds, then UI utils.exit room, this particular interface will be rendered, and this is merely for the logs on the UI side, of course. And this particular, if it actually fails, then I will be just logging the message from the server side, and that's it, nothing else. If there's any error, I will be just simply even mentioning that. Again, create room and destroy room, these are the two functions that I have created. They are kind of the post request functions that are actually sending the request to the server side, but they are not being used over here. That simply means they will be used inside my main.js file. So let's even check that particular thing. So I have WebSocket connection over here, not needed quite right now. Then I have a create room add button. Whenever I click on the create room button, so over here I will be using my create room. Simple, obviously, right? As soon as you click on the create room button, you have to just simply send a request to the WebSocket, server side, and the room should be created, and that is why I'm using it here. And quite nothing I'm doing here. Similarly, you must have destroyed the room before user joins, so you can even destroy the room. Destroying the room in the sense the room that you are actually creating, that will be removed from the server side. So this is the thing that's done too. And whenever you are destroying the room, at that time destroy room, and while destroying the room, you are actually rendering this particular UI, exit room UI, and that's fine. Okay, so this thing is actually done too. And lastly, you have a join room. Whenever you click on the join room, then you will be joining the room. Okay, and this is where most of the things actually take place. Most of the things are ultimately when you click on the join room, at that time, of course, you will get the name and all. You are using WebSocket join room. Okay, you are not using HTTP server. Why? So far, once we created the room, we used the HTTP server. Okay, and HTTP server was used even when destroying the room. While creating and destroying the room, we used HTTP server because we just needed to do that. That's it. We didn't need to notify the other user. So we had to just simply send the request to the backend. Backend had to send the request to us. That's it. But right now, when I try to join the room, at that time I have to join the room and I have to notify the other user as well that okay, I have joined the room. So it's gonna be a bi-directional thing. You have to send the request to two ways, first to yourself and second to the other user or the creator, and that is why we are using WebSocket server over here. And this particular room function, join room function, is created inside the WebSocket. So it's mainly time to go through the WebSocket related code, this one, and then things are gonna be done. So inside UI utils, I have UI utils related code. State contains states, contents consists of constants related stuff. Ajax consists of post request, fetch related stuff when you are actually sending the request to the server. So this particular thing is actually done. Lastly, we have this particular thing, this WebSocket related stuff, and inside this WebSocket related stuff, what we are actually trying to do, we are trying to join the room, and when joining the room, we have to send some data to the server side, especially WebSocket server side. Okay, and that's gonna be the join room. This is the function that's actually being used over here. And I'm just simply giving the name, I'm giving it the user ID. What about the WebSocket server? Because we are on the client side, we already have our WebSocket connection. That means using that particular WebSocket connection, we can easily send the request to the server side. Okay, so first of all, we have message over here, what all we want to send. So label is gonna be normal server process, simple, because we want to join the room, of course. Excuse me. And then we are sending some data as we want to join the room. So the type is gonna be the request. Of course, we are sending a request to join the room. Then room name and a user ID I want to send to the server side. Okay, on the basis of these credentials, I actually want to join the room. And lastly, I'm just simply gonna be using the WebSocket connection. Again, the WebSocket connection is inside my state, and I'm simply sending it from there and getting the state. Once I'm getting the state, I will be using the user WebSocket connection and will be simply sending the data. So this is how the data will actually be sent on the WebSocket server side, and you must know that we are already handling all these things. So when it comes to handling this handle connection, here we are actually handling the message, here we are actually getting the data, and then on the basis of the normal server, and we are just getting the things done on the basis of the type. We are just simply joining the user. I hope it's clear. And lastly, on a join room handler simply handles the things, and it simply gets the join room and user ID, and on the basis of that, it simply lets the user join the room. Quite a lot, right? But okay, it gets understandable when you just keep working on this, and then it doesn't feel like too much, like okay, we are just simply sending the request here and there, and that's it, done. But yeah, you need to go through the code properly. Initially it does get hard, especially when you are combining both the things, so that's understandable. Alrighty, so this particular thing is done, and we have joined the room. Apart from this particular thing, we can join the room, of course, why can't we, right? So as soon as I click on join room, so I'm joining the room and I'm sending the data using the WebSocket. The second thing is that as soon as I send the data to the server side will let me join the room if the room exists, and then that particular server side code will actually send two responses. One response will come to me, another response will go to the other user, because there are gonna be two peers, right? And when I'm actually getting that particular response back from the WS server, WebSocket server, then I will be handling it here. So inside my register socket events, I'm getting my WebSocket connection, then I will be handling the message. When handling the message, what am I doing over here? I'm just simply parsing the data. Again, incoming message event, you will actually be getting an event. Event in the sense, you will have many things inside that. You will have data, you will have a port number, you will have a URL, many things. And out of those things, I just want my data, and then at the end of the day, you will be just simply parsing that. You can just simply log it. Yesterday I did that, and thankfully I resolved this. Then on the basis of the label, there are two steps, right? First of all, your message that you are getting, that will have a label, like whether this is a normal server process or this is WebRTC server process. So on the basis of the label, you will be getting some things done. So this is gonna be, if the label is normal server process, then I will be using normal server processing. This is just a function. I'm just simply giving it the data, and other stuff will happen here inside this. So let's simply check this thing out as well. And inside that data, I will have a type again. Okay, I got the data. I got that. Okay, this is a normal server process related stuff. But what is the type of the data? Am I trying to join the room? and whenever I create a room, at that time you don't get it. Simple. When you create a room, at that time you use HTTP server. When you destroy a room, at that time you use HTTP server. But when you join a room, you use WebSocket server. That means response will come back to you, and mainly at that time you will have some extra stuff in the sense, whenever it comes to WebSocket connection, at that time there are gonna be two things: WebSocket server process, normal server process. We are handling normal server processes over here, and mainly we are joining the room right now, as simple as that. And we will be joining the room that can be success response, we will be joining the room that will be failure response, or that will be notification response as well. Simple stuff. Either that's gonna be success or that's gonna be failure, or if that is success, we will be notifying the other user that okay, the user has actually joined the room. Simple. So on the basis of the type, we will be getting the things done. Join success handler, and then if that is actually a failure, we will just simply logging the values. And if I'm simply notifying the other user, we will be having the notification handler, and that's it, done. So we have launched these two handlers over here. When joining a success handler, I'm just simply changing the state in the sense setting the user ID and setting the room name, and just changing the UI. Again, this joining to proceed, I created it inside UI utils, you may have remembered that. Okay, so that's what we have. And when actually notifying the user, few things are gonna be changed. When I'm actually notifying the user, that means the user has actually joined the room. I have to just simply change some things on the UI part. So alert is gonna be there, and utils, I will be logging the things, I will be updating the creator room and all. That's it, nothing else. So that should be it, and let's simply try to create a room right now. So that's gonna be secret one, create the room. Some sort of error happened while creating the room, sorry. Okay, that's fine, let's see. The server wasn't running. We have actually gone through it quite a lot. Right now I'm just simply be creating a room called a secret. Let's simply remove this, create the room. The room has actually been created. Let's try to localhost 8080. This is the another user that actually joined the same the room. Come on. So ultimately two things I have over here. In the first section on the left side, I have already created the room. The room you are in room secret, that means the room name is secret, waiting for a peer to join. Of course, if I just enter the same room secret over here, and if I click on join, I will be joining the same room, right? So initially we connected to the WebSocket server, then WS server is checking whether the room is available. Please wait. As soon as I created the room, okay, first of all I checked whether the room actually exists or not. On the basis of that thing, you can just simply create, because right now if I try to create the room, I'm just simply getting the room has already been created. Okay, so first of all it checked whether the room exists or not. If the room does exist, then you cannot join that. I will be getting this particular message. If the room is not created yet, you will be just simply getting message room created, waiting for another peer to join. As simple as that. Okay, instead of creating the room, let's try to simply join the room. And as soon as I clicked on join the room, I'm here, please wait, connecting to via WebRTC, and that's it, nothing else. And not only that, you even got a message, a user 83336 has joined your room. This is the name of the user ID, don't worry about this. Later in the future, if I use WebRTC, I will be using email, I will be using name, username, my stuff. But for now, using the user ID, I'm just simply identifying the user. This particular user joined the room. Please wait, connecting via WebRTC, please wait, connecting via WebRTC. Most of the things are done. If I just simply reload the page, here, as soon as I reloaded the page, user has joined your room. But okay, this did not work. The thing is that as soon as you reload the page, that particular user already left. That simply means this is the new user, and if you actually try to join the room, you will be join your room. Just a sec. One thing is missing. What is that thing? I'm simply joining the room, that's fine. If I reload the page, any page, it doesn't really matter. That means that particular user has been removed. Disconnection happened. And if I reload the page, then that particular user will be removed. Room will still exist. Okay, that's fine. I was a bit confused. Once you created the room got created. And now, right now, if you reload the page, right? So that's only one user inside the room right now. That is why we are getting the destroy room button. And if you reload the page, that user will be removed, and room will also be removed, because if both the users are not there, then room will automatically be removed. So the room is removed right now. I can create the room again, and this is happening like this. Similarly, I can just simply, if I try to join the room, I cannot, because the room does exist, because there is a user inside that. But if I try to join the room, I can easily join the room, and I'm even getting the message over here. That's fine. So far so good. The thing is that right now there are 2 users, and that is why I'm getting the exit room button. 2 users are inside the same room, and if I reload the page, one page is going to be reloaded. That simply means that that particular user will be removed from the room. So if I reload the page, that particular user is removed, and right now you can join the room again. Okay, sorry, you can join the room again. But if I do one thing like localhost at 0, this is going to be the 3rd user. So I have this first user here. Okay, I have this second user here. Both of them they are inside the room. If I try to join the same room, then I will be getting this room is already has 2 participants, as simple as that, because there are 2 users already in the same room, and that is why the 3rd user cannot join the room. But if I in case reload the page, that means the second user has been removed, and if I just simply join the room right now, I should be able to join the room, as simple as that. And here I'm inside the room, as simple as that. So this is how things are actually gonna be going on. You have connected via WebSocket. This room already has 2 participants. By the way, I have joined the room, so I can, and that's only one last option that is remaining. Once I'm actually joining the room, I'm not getting quite that message here. So secret join the room. Yeah, I joined the room, but I'm not getting any message here that okay, you have joined the room and all. That is something that I have to take care of, and nothing else. So whenever I'm joining the room, so what can I actually do? This is the matter of UI utils related stuff. So inside UI utilities, join to proceed. Whenever I join the room, at that time message container inner. Okay, this is fine. And one more thing I will be just mentioning. Joined your room. You have joined this particular room. So let's do one thing. Inside this, what will I be saying? Log to custom console, and inside this, because please wait, this is fine. And whenever I join the room, if I join the room successfully, I have to log the value as well. So not here, I can even log the value here, but I can say one thing, like whenever I join the room successfully, so I join the room successfully inside the WebSocket, join success handler here, and when this thing is actually done, then I will say UI utils dot log log to, come on yaar, log to console, and I will just simply say that you have joined the room successfully, just like this. I will be just adding the message over here, constants dot my colors dot that's gonna be green. That should be fine. I'm just simply the same thing I am doing here, right? This is the log message that I'm actually mentioning here. Kind of, I can say one more thing, that I'm getting the data, right? So once I'm actually getting the data, so I can say data dot message. This should actually be fine. I'm already getting this particular message. Let's even check whether when I join the room, am I actually sending the message or not. So inside my app, when I'm actually joining the room, handle message, forget about this handle message. Where am I joining the room? Join handler. And when it comes to join handler, so at the end of the day, I'm sending success message, and message, you have successfully joined this particular room. So yeah, I am sending the message, and that's why I'm using that over there. Let's reload the page, both of them, and try to create the room. Secret room created. Let's try to join the same room. You have successfully joined the room. Simple, easy peasy. Okay, I have successfully joined the room. One thing is still missing. What is that? The thing is that I'm joining the room right here, right? And once I'm actually joining the room, so from this side, I'm actually sending this particular message, join room, and this particular room name, existing room and room name. Why am I not getting the name, like room name? Let's see one more time. Secret, create the room. Secret, join the room. Okay, you have successfully joined the room. let me check this thing out on the WebSocket.js, wherever I'm just simply joining the room. And this is the section that I have. UI utils log whenever I'm joining the room, and this particular thing is there. Data.message, and this data.message actually comes from where? Join success handler, response success, data type, data I'm getting, and message.data, normal server processing. I want to check the data. I'm damn sure that from my app.js I'm actually returning the existing rooms, right? So existing room dot room name. So I'm definitely returning the room name as well. Why am I not getting it there? Let's see one more time. Am I gonna be getting that or not? Created, joined. Okay, now I'm getting that secret. I don't know why I wasn't getting it earlier. I was getting it earlier. The thing is that there was no code like this hyphen, and that is why I was not getting the proper thing. Okay, ultimately this thing is visible over here. I have joined the room, and if even I have this particular message, I can reload the page, and I'm exited. I can join. I cannot create it because of course the room does exist, but I can definitely join it again. And as soon as I join it, I can just simply show the stuff here. And that is all. And right now let's simply start working on this particular functionality. Like I should be able to exit the room, and once I'm actually able to exit the room, after that I can actually start working on the functionality of the WebSocket, connecting both of the people together and then getting this stuff done. So this is how the things are gonna be going ahead. For now that should be it. I'm gonna be now actually sharing the screen of VS Code only. I will not be able to share the entire screen because of course I have to watch the video and then I have to just keep learning. But yeah, as soon as everything gets done, I'll be back and then continue from here. I mean, I will be re-explaining everything, but for now this is how the things are gonna be going ahead. So let's do one thing. The music will be played in the background. I hope you don't mind, and I'm gonna be catching up soon. Alright everybody, so here we are, and let's do one thing. Simply check the whole code that I've written. Almost overall things are done, and right now only the functionality is remaining. So let's simply check whether everything's working right as expected or not. A few things I changed at the end of the day. They are kind of the better way to write, and that is why I just made some extra changes. But apart from this particular thing, nothing else. Overall things are getting done. Everything is structured the way they should have been structured. The only thing is the functionality part, whether it actually works or not. So let's even go through that in just a minute. Let me go through everything, have a quick look, and see if I'm done with the things or not. And the main goal is just gonna be checking it within a while. I hope I will not get the error, because if I get that, I will have to fix that, as simple as that. Before that, this live will not end. Okay, things are almost okay. And this time, let's reload that. Let's even reload that, and let's check out all the functionalities that should have been working fine here. So 2 users have joined, that's great. And let's go here again, and I'm gonna be creating the room. So the room has been successfully created, a room created waiting for another peer, that's fine. Okay, let's keep it here, and inside that I will not be able to create the room because the room already created, that's great. And if I actually reload this page, that means the room actually got destroyed. And okay, the song is being played, that's crazy, but okay, let me get it done really quick. There's a kind of tilak ceremony here nearby, so they're just simply playing the song. I don't want to get any copyright strikes, so I will be getting it really quick. So join, come on yaar, seriously. Thank god they stopped playing. They are gonna be doing, look, do one thing, let the song is actually being played in my background, and because of that thing I will be muting myself and I'll be checking it directly, just like that. Alrighty, so at the end here we are, everything's working fine. I can't really speak a lot because the music is being played in the background, and I don't wanna have any problem with that at all. That was it. Now from tomorrow onwards, I will actually start working on the logic of the WebRTC, and let's see how it's gonna be going on. It's definitely gonna be fantastic, so I'm gonna be